All right. Yes, today I want to continue with my review of the Fireside chat with President Obasanjo at the Intra-African Trade Fair in Algiers a few days ago. I believe the fair has ended yesterday, right? So this chart is very, very interesting. Let me go straight to the discussion, and then I'll come back and give my own comments, okay? All right.
They were all distinguished in their own right. Helmut Schmidt, Pierre Trudeau, Jimmy Callahan, all of them. And I said to them, look, you people, you are not really thinking of us. And one of them said, Olu, that's my first name, short form of Olusegun, called Olu. What do you mean by that? I said, look at everything in economic terms is weighted against us. And he said, Olu, you have to understand, we devised capitalism for ourselves, not for you. I said, not even for humanity's sake. He said, bring your economic books and show me where humanity is a factor of production and a factor of distribution. But there's no humanity as a factor of production or distribution.
Wow. Yes, they are all distinguished people, leaders in their own right, head of states, but that statement is not true. What the free market is all about is the best way to allocate resources. The market does that work. Yeah, okay, there's no humanity in the textbooks, but all it's doing is providing services, products for humanity. So I don't know, when they talk, all these big people, when they talk to each other, they make comments like this that don't serve any purpose to actually describe what is going on. I don't agree with that, because economics is providing services, products for humanity. And the free market is the best way we have ever found to allocate resources for humanity. So I don't agree with what that gentleman said to our president. Let's go on.
And he then said, look, tell me, give me 3 reasons why I should not buy your cocoa at 100, take it to Hamburg, turn it to chocolate, and bring it back to you and sell it to you at 1,000. I said, but I've told you humanity. He said, economics doesn't work that way.
Sure.
And that is true. How many of our leaders understand that? How many of our leaders understand that market as the mouth it is market for my own profit and for your own loss? That's when you talk of market and market for my my profit. They even come up and brought one not too long ago. They call it globalization. And globalization means you close your door, me, I should open my door, and you get everything out of my house into your house.
Sure.
Then I am being globalized. I am not being globalized, I am being cheated. I am being exploited. Now, if we know this, which we should know, then what do we do? And part of what we do are two things that tie up here. IATF. Can we trade more among ourselves? How much do we know of what we produce that our neighbor requires? Demand and supply. I like that in economics.
Sure.
And what is the demand of Algeria that Uganda can supply? Milk. And when that demand and supply is understood, Uganda became a supplier of milk to Algeria. So the dairy industry of Algeria benefits from milk from Uganda. I went to find out how Uganda produces over 5.5 billion liters of milk. And what do they need to export it and to where? Nigeria can do with more than 25% of that. And we are doing that. Now, that is the sort of thing we need to do through IATF. What information? What do you have? What can we get? Where can we team up? Where can we work together?
All right. Interesting comments from my president. Like I said earlier, yes, these great people are leaders on their own rights, but sometimes the kind of things they say are not very accurate. I mean, they all, when I listen to leaders, they say, many of them say things that they don't actually very understand very well. Okay, yes, in transactions, right? When you are dealing with people, one thing we need to understand. We need to learn how to negotiate. Negotiation is a give and take, but the other side is looking to get the maximum they can get, just like you are looking to get the maximum you can get. So if you don't know how to negotiate, you give more and they will gladly accept it. But the good thing is this: you freely negotiated. Just because you don't really understand the full intricacies of what you are negotiating is not the fault of your other side. It's your fault. So if we are going to negotiate with partners, we must know our limits. Where we can't go, we say, no, I'm not going here. And when you say that, and the other side know, okay, this guy is not going there. Okay. And if what you have already given is good enough for them, they will accept it. but they will push you to get the maximum they can get, just like you are pushing to get the maximum you can get from them. That's negotiation. Okay. So if we don't know how to negotiate, it's not their fault. It's our fault. That's one thing. So that thing about that globalization means we open our door and they close our door and they take everything from us. Whose fault is it? It's ours. You negotiate. Okay, you open your doors and I'll open my door. The market is free. If your market is not free, then my market is not free. That's it. If your market is not free, my market is not free. And the good thing is this. There are over 180 countries in the world. If this partner, this country, is not ready to open the market, like they're asking you to open your market, then you go and look for another partner who is ready to open the market. So if they're not going to reciprocate, then you know that's not the kind of person you want to deal with. But if we are so desperate to do business with them, it's our fault. So let's leave that one. The good thing is that the solution he gave, IATF, Intra-African trade. That's like I said in my video yesterday. That is the joker that African countries have. We are 54 African countries, and the Caribbean are involved. They are willing to do business with us as part of Africans in diaspora. So we have more than 60 countries we can deal with on a fair basis. So if we deal with these countries and the other countries see that we are no longer desperate, see, because desperation is a tactic in negotiation. So if we build the infrastructure to trade with our local partners, our African partners, then our desperation to trade with outsiders will reduce drastically. And then we'll have a better leverage to bargain with the outsiders. So it's upon us to build the infrastructure to trade with our African partners. And that is what Afrexim and other African-led organizations like that is doing to help African countries trade with themselves. The African Continental Free Trade Area is another one. Once that is up and running, that's it. But it might take time. It might take time. I want to say this to make sure we get the maximum benefits of these trade scenarios that are opening up to us. We must continue with the economic systems that support that. This is not the time for us to start fashioning a different economic system that has not worked anywhere. Let's use the economic system that has supported success for other countries. One thing we need to do desperately in Africa is electrification. That will boost are industrialization. These are things we need to do. This will now open up different opportunities for young people to start creating businesses. And that's the key. Creating businesses is the key for young people. Yes, it's not everybody cannot create businesses, but those that can will. Anyway, I'm glad that President Obasanjo laid out the things he has laid out so far, and I hope that people would take the guidance and run with them. All right. So, if you got value from this video, please give it a thumbs up, share the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done that by now. Okay? Take care.